Good morning. Welcome back to the shop. Welcome back to working on quirky old French cars. You can see I've got my Renault Dauphine here, and I've got my shop dog Stella back. She's generally supervising from the mezzanine up above, making sure I'm doing what I'm saying I'm doing. Stella, welcome back. Okay, so if you're not familiar with this channel, it is called the Two-Stroke Turbo channel. I happen to think it's the best channel on YouTube, but you can say or maybe do or think what you want. This is a 66 Renault Dauphine. I've had it for 15 years, I think. I got it for free. I paid to have it towed from California, I think the Menlo Park area, so south of the Bay Area. It had no floors. It had no trunk. It was rusted away. Rockers were fine, but this whole area has been replaced. You can see I've seam sealed the whole front trunk area, and I did paint it with epoxy, but I had a brake fluid leak here and it ruined my paint job. So today I'm going to rectify that. So I've sanded this, I've cleaned this, I've masked off the edges. I'm going to airbrush, or basically use a detail gun, which is a little tiny 1.0 tip gun, and try to touch this up with SPI epoxy primer, and then let that cure for a couple days, and then I may roll it with truck liner and turn it black. But I'm going to use white SPI epoxy primer today on the trunk, on the dash. So I painted the dash red, and I've got all the chrome back on it, but right around the windshield area here and the defroster area and these post areas, it looks shabby, and I don't like that. So that's got to look good. Also, the seat belts have been added, and this is the attachment point for the third, or what you'd call the part that goes over your shoulder, the high part. 3-point belt is what you call that. Crazy thing. So they cut open the headliner and they put a seat belt bracket in there, which is kind of nuts, but seat belts weren't really a thing. So there's a couple seat belt holes here for the clasp, and then the 1 point, 2 points, 3 point. I think that's how it works. I've got the seat belts. I got to clean them up, but I don't know if I'll be using that. But I tried to remove that bolt on this side, and it ripped my fresh paint. This was a few years ago. So now this bolt had turned, and it just twisted all the paint off. So I have got it sanded down. I've got it masked. I can touch up this with some primer and then paint over it with the single stage paint if I like. I'm just trying to get all the little ideas. So like this little rust area I want to paint, and up here in the defroster tray I want to paint that. That just bothers me. So I have painted the dash red. I've got all the trim done. I did redo the steering wheel. I've redid the seats, redid the floors. A lot of work. Nobody else I know is restoring a Renault Dauphine from 1966, but that doesn't mean that it's not possible. You too could restore your Renault Dauphine. Okay, it's a little while later, and I have successfully painted the inside front trunk of my Renault Dauphine. You may call it a frunk. And let's see, I got the inside dash areas right around the corners. They were bothering me because they're kind of rusted from where the windshield would leak, I guess. That looks a lot better, both sides. And then this actually came out better than I thought. The engine compartment, inner fender wells, frame rails, motor mount housings, both sides. Oop, I got a run there. That looks a lot better. Wipe down the underside of the hood. This thing's going to be a show car. I did spill. The lid came off my paint gun right about there, so I've got to do a detail there, and I think I got some overspray there. The seat belt bolt looks pretty good, and this side of the dash is all right. Huh, that's great. Okay, I'm really happy with this. All that brake fluid damaged area there is gone. And oh look, Tesla's gonna come inspect our work. Stella, did I call you Tesla? What am I thinking? Stella, come here. Come here, little girl. Come here. Hey, why do you ignore me when I got the camera out? You want a little lovin'? You are such a silly dog. Oh my goodness, you're a silly dog. Okay, we'll play with her later. Just wanted to let you know, the Dauphine is looking clean.